So in this session, we are going to be looking at dictionaries and sets. So we look at sets and dictionaries, and they are that's going to be the those two are going to be the last basic data structures that we're going to be touching on in this particular class on basic data structures in Python. So we're going to say sets. So we've covered tuples, list, and all of that. So let's look at set. So what's a set? Set is basically the exact set in mathematics, like in your normal set theory in maths. So and what are the properties of sets? Number one is sets are unordered. So let's go back all the way up, like we did in the last class, and copy this particular stuff here. Then we can go all the way down and paste it here and change all of this to sets. So sets are also like a collection of elements, but sets are unordered. List is ordered, tuples is ordered. So sets are unordered, meaning that you cannot really index them the way we would index a list and stuff like that. Then here the properties are that you can they are yes, sets are mutable too. They are unordered, and sets are created using these curly braces here, or with sets like this. Perfect. So they cannot be indexed. We've changed that. So and they contain unique elements on the surface. Sets contains unique elements only. So basically what we are saying is you cannot add repeated elements inside a set. In fact, if you do it, it is not going to throw an error. It is going to like just kick out the duplicates in that particular set that you've created. So let's look into creation. How do we create sets? Sets. This is a very, very grand way of saying it. So we say creating a set. So how do we do that? So we can have um, even, and we can say it like this: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Can create another set and say odd. That's going to be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. And we can print the type of any which one of them. Print type odd. Can also maybe print the type of the two. Print type even. And if we run that, we are going to have set. So they are both set. And we can actually, like I mentioned here, we sets are mutable. So again, let me actually show you this. If we create this set in a way where let's say we had 8 again, 8, let me add 8 here again and 2 again. So if we come down, just to show you that it is going to kick it out. So let's print out even alone. So normally you would expect it to print out all of this, but it is not going to do that. So it prints out 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 because it does not repeat things. So elements in a set, they must be unique. Now the next thing we want to look at is the basic methods, right? What are the basic methods in? And you can also create a set using that list range, using set range that we used earlier when we are doing top one dictionary. So you can go create a larger set. So let's say numbers equals set, and we can go range. We can start from 2, let's say, to 50 if that's what we are interested in doing. Then we can print out numbers, and can you see we get this very large set of numbers. So now the next thing is to look at the basic functions and methods. We're going to do basic functions, methods in set. So and come here. And the very first one that we're going to be looking at is the add. So we can say add function. There's an add method. Add method. So we can go, let's say we want to add something to even. So let's look at even here. Say even. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Let's say we want to add 12. For example, say even dot add, and we're adding 12. So if we print out even now, we're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So we can also remove, say even dot remove. We want to remove what we just added, 12, and it is going to remove it. So if you want to do it again, if we run it again now, it is going to throw an error. It's going to be, I think, key index error or some key error. So if we run that again, just an error. And the error is key error. That is, there's no such thing as 12. We don't have anything called 12 in here because we've already removed it. So if we add it back and rerun this, now it works perfectly because it sees something to remove now. Right. So, but to actually fix that error from doing remove and having problems is you can use discard, the discard method. So we say even dot discard, and we are going to pass in 12 again, then print out even. So the difference between remove and discard, to the best of my knowledge, is that if discard does not find this particular element, it's not going to throw an error. So if we run that, it sees nothing to remove and it's fine. So if we try it for 10, you see it will remove 10 like this. 10 is gone. If I should run it again, if I had used remove, it's still going to throw an error. So if I should rerun that, there is no error. So that's the difference between that. So um then we can, there is also clear. If you want to like remove all of the elements, there is clear, there is pop, there is also learn. You already know what learn does. So learn function counts the number of elements. You've seen that like a lot of times. So say learn and even it does that. So that is some of the basic functions and method in a set. So the next thing that I want us to look at is set operation. So we look at set operation. So first one that we'll look at is the union of sets. So let's put our odd and even at the top here. So we say odd, we'll print odd, print even. So this is our odd, this is our even. So if we want to union it, we're going to say odd, and we use this line here, even. So that's basically a union. So if we run this, it returns the union of the sets. That is, it adds both sets together without repetition. One, two, three, four, five, up to nine. So, second one I will look at is the intersection of sets. Although this is going to be zero, so that is going to be odd and even a number that belongs to both of these sets, which doesn't exist actually. So returns an empty set. So the next one is going to be difference of sets. So difference of sets. Which is like prime. You can think of it as prime, right? So we can do odd minus even, which is going to be basically everything in odd. So 135 because there is none of it in even. So those are like some of the basic set operation, union, intersection, difference, and all of that. And we can also get them via methods. We can call dot union, dot intersection, dot difference. You could go odd dot union. Yeah. So then you pass in the new set that you want to union. But I just find it cleaner, like way cleaner, to always use these signs. Anything that you want to do is fine. And there's difference also, odd dot difference, odd dot intersection, like that. So yeah, that is right. There are also more operations. I remember this. We can check the equality of a set. Checking set equality. So I can go odd equals even. So this is going to be false because it is not equals. Then we can also check if odd is a subset of even. You can say odd dot is subset. There are a lot of things. Is superset, is subset, is disjoint, things like that, just from your normal set. So even like this is also going to be false because odd is not a subset of even. And for example, if you call, let me show you one that will probably return true. So I can say numbers numbers equals set range 1 to 20. Then if I should come here and say odd dot is subset of numbers, then we get true because odd, which is 13579, is inside 1234, whatever. And if I also say numbers dot is superset of odd, that is going to be true. If I say numbers dot is superset of even, that's also going to be true because everything that is inside odd and even, there are numbers between 1 and 20. So, like I said, you can always just check all of this, then play around with stuff. We cannot cover every single, these are actually set methods. So we cannot cover every single one of them. So that's basically what we use sets for. And to take a quick recap, we said earlier, sets are mutable. You can change them. We saw add, remove, all of that. Whenever we want to create a set, we do so by starting with the curly braces, or we can use this set in bracket. Then sets are unordered and they have to contain unique elements. Even if you don't supply unique elements at the beginning, Python is going to make it unique for you by force. So that is sets. And let's move to dictionaries, which is the last data structure, basic data structure, dictionaries. So what makes dictionaries okay? properties of dictionaries really. So um let's copy this and paste it here. Then so here we can, so dictionaries are collection of elements bundled as a key value pair. Collection Dictionaries are collection of elements bundled as a key value pair. Now, uh, the thing with dictionary is elements in a dictionary are paired together. You see a key with a value. So one of the stuff is one. Um, Dictionaries contain. Let's edit this one to dictionaries contain key value pairs. That is number one. Number two is it is unordered also. Unordered. There is no index. We access elements in the dictionaries using the keys unordered. I don't know how to spell ordered. Okay, ordered. Yeah. Then dictionaries are mutable, so we can change, remove elements. Dictionaries are created using this, like this. Can you see? Dictionaries are created. Then you cannot do this. Then dictionaries contains unique elements only. That is correct too. So uh that is dictionaries. And let's look at examples. So for creating dictionaries, we can actually, let's create a dictionary for Nigeria. Let's say Nigeria. That is going to be like this. Whenever I want to create a dictionary, we start with a curly brace, just like sets. But the difference is that sets take single values, while dictionary takes key value pairs. So we can go Nigeria. Now we can go Lagos. That's going to be Ikeja. Can go Oshun. Go Oshogbo. We can go Borno. Go Maiduguri. And we can now have the last one, which is going to be Imo. That's going to be Owerri. Now, if we should print out Nigeria, Nigeria, and also print type of Nigeria, that is type of the data. So we have Nigeria, the dictionary is created here, and we also have the data type, which is dictionary. Great. So how do we actually access uh, elements in a dictionary? Accessing elements in a dictionary. So if you want to access a particular value, we call these values, things on the right side of the colon, they are called values, and things on the left side are called keys. So we want to access a value, we do so with the key. So we can say Nigeria like this, Lagos. And that's going to print out Ikeja, which is the value attached to Lagos here. And if we do Borno, we're going to get Maiduguri, which is what is appended here. Great. Now, let's say we want to now access all of the keys. You want to access all of the keys, you can go accessing all the keys. So we can go Nigeria dot keys, and that returns only the keys. And if you might have guessed it, if we want to access all the values, then we can go Nigeria dot values. Now let's say we now want to like access the keys and values in pairs. So we can go Nigeria, and this returns as a top of list kind of. So we say Nigeria dot items. So it comes like this, and we can actually now say maybe we want the first one. Sorry, you need to convert that to a list first. You need to convert that to something like a list, like so. So we get Lagos Ikeja. Perfect. So, but basically, the actual thing to learn here is that we can use dot items to return each of the elements, that is, each of the key value pairs, as what a tuple. Now, as a tuple. So, accessing the pairs. Now, the next thing is, how do we actually add new things, add new elements with update method? So, there's a method called update that we use to add new elements to a dictionary. So what's that method? We can say Nigeria dot update, and we want to add a new uh, state and capital. So we go Kwara. That's going to be Ilorin. And if we should print out Nigeria now, that is going to return. That's going to add Kwara here. All right, so we have Kwara in this place. Another way of adding new stuff is just by creating the key. We create a key and we pass it in. So how can we do that? We can say Nigeria, we want to add a new state. So what state are we adding? Let's add Ondo, and that's going to be equals to Akure. And if we should print Nigeria now, that is going to be, I don't have Ondo Akure, so we can add new pairs, new elements to a dictionary by using either of these two methods. So now the next thing I want to do is we want to see how to like remove elements. So how do we remove elements? Remove elements in a dictionary. The way to do that is with the pop method. So we can say Nigeria. So we want to remove Lagos dot pop, and the key that we want to pop out is Lagos. So we're going to say, how is Lagos spelled? Small letter L. So we pop it out. It's going to print it out for us, and we can go on and check if it has been removed. So can you see it is gone? We do not have Lagos anymore, but we still have Osun, Borno, Kwara, and all of that. And if the key is not found, it is going to throw an error, like in the case of set. And you can clear the entire thing, like in the case of set, also you can clear the entire all of the elements in a set by just calling dot clear. So we call dot clear, it is going to clear the whole thing. And if I should check Nigeria now, it is going to be an empty dictionary. Can you see it's an empty dictionary? So yeah, that is that is the way we use a dictionary. So what are the use cases for dictionary? When we want to perform lookups, when we want to tie things together. For example, let's take this particular thing, like the sign up thing that we did at the top earlier. Perform student sign up using both username and password. So the only thing that we are going to be accepting here is not just username. We're going to accepting both username and password. So we're going to say register, and it is going to be an empty dictionary. Now we're going to say name equals input, enter your name, and password is going to be equals to input, enter your password, and once we accept the two, we can just update. So we can say register. Let's add the comment here and say update the register. So I'm going to say register. You can either do dot update or you can do this. Register of the person's name is equal to their password. This is one way of doing it. And print out register now. We print out register now. What do we have? It says enter your name. Name is Fola. Password is 134. And it says Fola 134. Then another person, James, and it's 23. So it says James 23. So in this case, we are not just taking a particular thing, we are actually taking both username and password. And we also want to tie them together, like, okay, this is the person's username, this is their password. And we can always do a lookup, like, okay, check if this person's username tallies with their name, which is something that we can actually write when we get to conditionals, which is the next class. Thank you very much for joining in. And that is a dictionary for you. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the next one.